You talked about you're bringing Braylon in and talk about local people, like to talk to local guys. What is your philosophy on recruiting in Oklahoma and the Tulsa area, and how does that match with the broader need of having the best players possible on your roster?
Yeah, and let me say too, I saw the unfortunate incident with the Union player, and I know sometimes you get recruiting things, but just prayers to their team, that family, and that young man for the incident I think that happened. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? And so that's a very sad, unfortunate thing. Matter of fact, I believe he was at our game Thursday night, for what that's worth. So, not a kid that we had. So again, we just say prayers to that. It was nice. You look at I saw the high school rankings came out by someone the other day, and you got all of our local teams in Tulsa that are great teams all recognized and rated, which says a lot for the staffs, the coaches, the teams in this area. I go through the whole state of Oklahoma. I know we got a couple commitments that I think had phenomenal first games when you look at their stats and numbers. And the amazing thing, outside those 4 Oklahoma schools, we look at all those Texas schools and a boatload of those guys and where they're from in areas that we try so hard to recruit well. So of the top teams in the nation, there's 12, 15, 16 of those teams where we are actively trying to beat their doors down to get the right kids to come here if they would. So we're always going to start locally in the backyard. I think our degree's got a lot of value for kids in this region, a lot of value for kids in the state. I think a lot of kids for the Metroplex and East Texas, and as we even trickle down to San Antonio and Austin and Houston. So, there's a great vibe when we go out recruiting, not just locally. I think locally, initially, Tulsa's always had a pretty good vibe. I think, I didn't realize, but when I came back, I think those years I had at Oklahoma, a lot of people remember that. So we were kind of welcomed in Oklahoma. But when we go to Texas, we're well received by the high school coaches. They got a lot of respect for the history, the tradition, the great players, the great teams, and great coaches have been here. So I love our area recruiting, and it was great to see so many of the programs we recruit were ranked so high in the early national polls for what that's worth. And that's great athletes, people that love football. I think our state's as passionate as football as any state. So people that love football, and like I say, it was neat to say that. And I want to go back again, prayers to the Union football family and that young man over there.
When you were several of the transfers that you picked up this year were also people from here, went other places and came back. Do you have a particular sales pitch that you try to give?
No, I mean, because first of all, I do sell this. Don't come here and not be a success, because you guys are going to write about it. Like, why is he not yet? Well, I mean, I just watch him practice and the guys that are making plays and not. But, it's better to go somewhere else than come here and fail. If you're coming here, there's a little bit of you got to do well in school. Everybody's going to know your name, and not everybody's going to be necessarily a 3 and a 4 year starter and have a statistically great career, become an NFL player. But you don't want to come here and especially with some of the teams and the profile players that come out, you got to hold your end of the bargain. I think some of us, SMU's doing it differently because it's a bigger city, but they're getting some guys on bounce backs. We just try to be. First time I ever heard this was Coach Day years ago when Justin Fields transferred in. He goes, when we recruited him the first time, I was just nice as I could, because you never know. And so you never know right now. You don't wish. I don't tell a kid, well, if it doesn't work out, call me. I'm like, if you go somewhere else, go kick butt and be a great player, get your degree. But if you're nice to them and you have a relationship, and for some reason a kid is looking 1 or 2 or 3 years down the road in this day and age of the portal, you might could get a kid bouncing back. And then, a kid that's now traveled away, the value of being at home, the value of getting a master's degree from here, which a couple guys are pursuing, or coming back and finish, which some guys have done that. Those, our academic sell and this campus vibe is, our kids that come back love it when they get back here, and they've been very successful.